Sets A, B, and C are as follows. We have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and then we have 2, 3, 4, 5. So what do they all have in common? Well, they all have 5 in common. So we always start in the middle with 5. Okay. Then what do A and B have in common? Well, I see 2 and 3 here. I see 2 and 3 there. So maybe we can put 2 and 3 in there for A and B. And what do A and C have in common? I think A and C have the number 1 in common. So there we go. 1. And then what do B and C have in common? I believe they have the number 4 in common. And then what's left over in C is 10. What's left over in A is 6 and 7. That's a 5, by the way. And then what's left over in B is 8 and 9. Okay. List the elements in each of the following sets. So A union B is everything in A and B combined. So basically what's in that circle there, okay? So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 4, 8, 9. Okay. A less C, everything in A that's not in C. So everything in A, but you're not allowed to be inside of C. So 2, 3, 6, and 7. Okay. A, everything in A or everything in B intersection C. So A union B intersection C. So let's get B intersection C first, which is this section here. And then everything in A as well. So that is this region here. So also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops, sorry, my bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, and now to part C. Complete the following identity. Oh wait, remember distributive law, guys. So remember if I gave you something like this, where we can say multiplication is distributive over addition. So I can say something like this instead. See the way I can multiply the 3 by the 4 and the 2, and we get 18 either way. Doesn't matter if I add first. Doesn't matter if I add first or multiply first, okay? So what we're trying to prove is that union is distributive over intersection. So it's going to be A union B, and then it's going to be union, remember it's A times B, and then A times C. So it's going to be A union C. It's the same trick I showed you below. Okay, so that's question 1 done. Now we're on to question 4. Find the value of f7. Well, f blank equals 3 times blank plus 5. The function is 3 times a number plus 5. So 3 times 7 plus 5 is 26. Write fk in terms of k. Okay, so once again, f blank equals 3 times blank plus 5. So fk will be 3k plus 5. No need there. Using your answer to part B or otherwise, find the values of k for which fk equals k. Alright, so that will mean that 3k plus 5, which is fk, equals k. Then move k to the left, so we're going to get 3k, take away k equals minus 5, and 5 to the right. And what we should get is 2k equals minus 5, I believe. 2k equals minus 5, and k equals minus 5 over 2. Okay, so that's questions 1 and 4 done. Now we're on to question 5. The Kelvin scale is one way of measuring temperature. To convert temperature from degrees Fahrenheit to Kelvin, you add 596.67 to F, then multiply your answer by 5 and divide by 9. Okay, so Fahrenheit, they give us 212. We're going to have to then add on 556.67, and then we multiply by 5, and then when we're done with all that, we divide by 9. Okay, that should be okay. So load it into the calculator. So what we get is 212 plus 459.67 multiply by 5. Oh, sorry, that's addition there. Delete. Multiply by 5. Then divide by 9. And we get 333.15. Okay. Oh, sorry, 373.15. My bad. Kelvin. Right, in algebraic forms, we express K in terms of F. So look at what we did earlier. This is F, and the answer is K. So it's F plus 559.67 divided by 9 and multiply the top part by 5. So that's our formula there. K equals 5 times F plus 459.67 divided by 9. Hence, or otherwise convert 400 Kelvin into degrees Fahrenheit. Alright, well, I suppose what we could do here is just convert K into 400, and that will equal 5 times your Fahrenheit measurement plus 459.67 divided by 9. So here's what we're going to do next. 9 times 400, because division of 9 on the right is multiplication of 9 on the left, so it's going to be 9 times 400 is 3,600. Multiplication of 5 is the same as division of 5. Multiplication of 5 on the right, because 5 is being multiplied by everything, is division of 5 on the left, and that will leave your F plus 459.67. Now 3,600 divided by 5 is 720. Okay, so 720, bring over your 459.67, that equals F, and 720 take away 459.67, and that is now equal to 260.33, and that is your Fahrenheit measurement. Okay, now we're on to question 6. Technically involves lines and algebra, so I'm inclined to include it on your study plan. Can't be gotta be careful with these things, because you know they do involve the same learning. Okay. 2 mobile phone companies, Cellular and Mobile, offer price plans for mobile internet access. The formula in X, the total cost per month for each company, is shown on the table below. X is the number of megabytes of data downloaded per month. Okay, draw a graph of C of X and F of X. Okay, so what you can do here is for C, amount of data. Alright, so for 100 to 700, let's just go up in hundreds, lads. Okay, so if you have 0, 4 times 0 is 0. If you have 100, 4 times 100 is 400. If you have 200, 4 times, we actually don't have to do each, because it's a straight line, lads. You don't have to do every single part. You just need the first point and the last point. So I'm going to do as far up as 700. 700, and what's 4 times 700? Imagine your data is 700. 4 times 700 is 2,800. Okay, 2,800 is, look at the bars, there's one block each, so 2,600, 2,700, 2,800 is up here, and that is at 7. So this point here, which I'll do in red, is actually this point here, and then we have a 0, 0, which is here. And what we can do is we can draw this line. Okay, and that's for C of X, Cellular. Okay, Now, for the other one, which is MX, it's going to be 1000 plus 2 times your data. So if the data is 0, it's going to be 1000 plus 2 times 0, which is 1000. If we then do 700, it's going to be 1000 plus 2 times 700, and 2 times 700 is 1400. 1000 plus 1400 is 2400. So it's going to be 7, 2400. So 2100, 2200, 2300, 2400. And it starts at 0, 1000, which is this here. So the red line will represent MX. Okay, there you go. Now, we've successfully drawn both graphs. Next part of this, for which company charges no fixed monthly fee? The company that charges no fixed monthly fee is CX, because it starts at 0, 0, which means no megabytes cost you no money. While in this one, no megabytes cost you €1,000, or sorry, 1,000 cents. Okay, so we'll answer that now. CX, because it passes through 0, 0, which means 0 megabytes costs 0 cent. While in MX is 0, 1000 cent. 0 megabytes costs 1,000 cent. So 1,000 cent is the standing charge. The fixed monthly fee. Monthly fee. Okay, draw down the point of intersection of the two graphs. I think it's going to be 500 and 2000. Now, it might be slightly off, but I think it's here, where this blue dot is, which is 500 and 2000. Okay, and it says that in the marking scheme as well, so we're all good. 500 and 2000. Fergus wants to buy a mobile phone from one of these two companies and wants his mobile internet bill to be as low as possible. Explain how your answer in part C would help Fergus choose between cellular and mobile. Well, below 2000 megabytes, sorry, 1 second. This is megabytes of storage. Sorry, 500 and 2400. Sorry guys, this is 500 and 2000. My bad. Okay, the X value is the megabytes, so, and the Y value is the, so at 500 and below, C of X is cheaper. So at 500 and below, Cellulon is cheaper, but at 500 and above, Mobile is cheaper. Because think about it, whichever one has the black line is above the red line above 500, but the red line is above the black line below 500. So below 500 megabytes, not download. Which one did we say was cheaper again? I believe we said Cellulon is cheaper. Cheaper. Above 500 megabytes of download, mobile is cheaper. Oh, sorry, yeah. So the answer C is when both answer of part C is where both parts are equal. Where both companies cost the same amount. The same amount. So either side of 500 megabytes of download one company will be cheaper than the other. Cheaper than the other. Okay, basically wrote an essay there, but is what it is. Now, next one, question 7. Multiply this out. So what have I done so far? I've done 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, I believe. So it's going to be 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 by the time I'm done question 8. It's going to be fun. Multiply this out. X times x, x cubed. X times minus 2x squared. X times 6 is 6x. 5 times x is 5x squared. 5 times minus 2 is minus 10x. 5 times 6 is 30. X cubed. And then we have minus 2x squared plus 5x squared is plus 3x squared. 6x take away 10x is minus 4x. And that's your plus 30 right there. Okay. Next one. Factorize this. Well, we can see that C leads D in the first one. So it makes sense to rearrange it so that C leads D in the second one as well. Then you can factorize out the A, and you get A into C minus D, and you get plus B into C minus D, and then you get A plus B into C minus D. No matter what answer you get, just multiply it back out and check it. A times C plus AC. A times D minus AD. B times C plus BC. B times minus D minus BD. So I know it's correct, right? So whatever answer you get, just multiply it back out and make sure it's correct, okay? Happy days. So that's question 7A and B done. Now, next one. Write the following as a single fraction. Well, to put them as single fractions, we need to give them a common denominator. Common denominator between 3 and 4 is 12. Hopefully you all know that. Count up in 3s, count up in 4s, and whichever number comes up first is the winner. So we're going to multiply top and bottom by 4. Then we're going to multiply top and bottom by 3 here. So it's going to be 4x plus 8 for this one. 4 times 3 is 12. Minus 3 times x is minus 3x. Minus 3 times minus 3 is plus 6, plus 9. And then 3 times 4 is 12. 4x take away 3x is 1x. A plus 9 is 17. A plus 17 over 12. Okay, now we're on to question 8. Complete the following inequality shown. First of all, it's element n. So, and it's less than or equal. Okay, so it's got to be 2 less than or equal. Now, if I put down 4, that will work, because less than or equal to 4 works, because that includes the 4. Don't know what the marking scheme was up to, but anyways, let's try next one now. Complete the inequality in x below show that there's only one possible value of x, where x is an element of R. Well, if I say in between 10 and 11, you could have 10.01. You could have 10.001. You could have 10.0001. You're gonna be there forever. So you need to write down something like this: 10 less than 10, and the only answer is 10, because 10.01 is bigger than 10, 9.99 smaller than 10, so it has to be the same number twice. Whatever you choose, make sure it's the same number twice. I could have chosen 10.1 and 10.1, whatever I wanted. Okay, once it's the same number twice. So that's question 8 done. So 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Factorize this. Alright, two numbers that multiply to give me minus 30, but add to give me plus 7. That's going to be 10 and minus 3. So it's x plus 10 and x minus 3. Hence, otherwise solve the equation. Well, it's going to be x plus 10, x minus 3 equals 0. We just factorize it. Put the first one equal to 0. Put the second one equal to 0. Move over to 3. X equals 3. And x equals minus 10. Solve the equation, correct it 2 decimal places. You're going to need the minus b formula this time. Minus b is plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So a, b, and c. A is 2, b is minus 7, minus b is plus 7, and c equals minus 10. Okay. So when you put in minus b, you're going to get plus 7, plus or minus the square root of. Now remember our system. You leave it empty brackets at the start, like so. So it's going to be plus 7. And we use, so press the fraction button at the very beginning. So 7 plus square root blank squared minus 4 times blank, all over 2 times blank. Now, what's our a value? A value is 2. Put it in here. What's our c value? C value is minus 10. Our a value is 2. And our b value is minus 7. So all this in the calculator, and we get 7 plus root 129 over 4. So you can write down your workings there as 7 plus or minus square root of 129 over 4. Okay, and then we put in minus 7 here, 2, 10, and 2. Now press the change button to 2 decimal places. So 4.59, because 589 turns to 590, so 4.59. And remember to change the plus to a minus, because it says plus and minus. So what you get there is minus 1.09 as well. Okay, I know 2 of them are correct, so let's move on to question 10. The odd time these sets questions have a bit of probability into them, so maybe just having a bit of basic probability in your mindset would be a good idea. Okay, let's figure out this. When you're doing these questions, try and start in the middle where possible. 2 had all 3 diseases. There's 2 there. 2 had measles and chickenpox, but not whooping cough. So measles and chickenpox, not whooping cough, would be 2 here. 6 had whooping cough and chickenpox. So whooping cough and chickenpox has to add up to 6. That'll make this section 4. Okay, so I've used that, I've used that, I've used that. At least 11 had at least 2 diseases. So 2, 2, and 4. So this has to add up to 11. All these sections here have to add up to 11. So it's 11 take away 2, take away 2, take away 4, which will leave us with 3. for the measles. So 11 take away 2, take away 2, take away 4 gives us 8. Okay, 18 had measles, so it's going to be 18 take away 2, take away 2, take away 3, which should be 11. 40 had chickenpox, so it should be 40 take away 2, take away 2, take away 4, which is 32. And finally, 31 had none of the diseases, so that's 31 on the outside. So to find how many people had whooping cough in total, we have 100 children in total. So it's going to be 100, take away 31, take away 11, take away 3, take away 2, take away 2, take away 4, take away 32. And this should give me an answer of 15 in here. Best to make sure. Okay. Find the probability that the child chosen at random from the group had chickenpox. Well, how many people had chickenpox? 32 plus 4 plus 4. I think that's 40 out of 40 people out of the 100. It doesn't say chickenpox only, it says chickenpox. So you could have more than one. 40 divided by 100 is 4 out of 10, which is 2 out of 5. Okay, now part C. So we got to explain the English. 6 had whooping cough and chickenpox. 6 is the cardinal number of W intersection C. Alright, so C/N. Everybody in chickenpox who had chickenpox but didn't have measles. So 36 is these two here. Everybody that had chickenpox but is not in the measles category. Okay? 36 had chickenpox but not measles. Two had measles and chickenpox but not whooping cough. So 2 had measles and chickenpox but not whooping cough. So it's the intersection, but we want to exclude the W part. So it's going to be M intersection C but exclude W. And it's also cardinal number as well, so we got to remember that. So 2 equals the cardinal number of M. So cardinal number of M intersection C, forget about W, close. Okay, excluding the W. So I think we've done 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I believe we're going to do 11. And we're going to do 12 and 13. Considerable amount of this, actually, to be honest. So this is geometry mixed in with a bit of algebra, okay? 2 triangles are on the right are shown below. Find the height of each triangle. Well, we can use Pythagoras' theorem. So we can say 5 squared equals 4 squared plus h squared. 25 equals 16 plus h squared. H squared must be 9. H is square root of 9, which is 3. Likewise on the other one, 13 squared equals h squared plus 12 squared. 169 equals h squared plus 144. 169 take away 144 is 25. 25 must be the h squared. H must equal 5. Okay. The triangles above are the first 2 triangles of which sides are integer lengths, where the hypotenuse is 1 unit longer than the base. Another such triangle is shown on the right. It has a height of 9 units. Use the theorem of Pythagoras to find the value of n and calculate the length of the base of this triangle. So just calculate the n value. Okay, So Pythagoras' theorem says the longest side, which is n plus 1 squared, equals the shorter side squared and added together. So that will be n plus 1 squared. Oh, sorry. N plus 1 by n plus 1. Equals 81 plus n squared. And then it's going to be n squared plus 1n plus 1n plus 1 equals 81 plus n squared. The n squareds cancel and we get 2n plus 1 equals 81. 2n equals 80. N equals 40. So that's a classic 40, 41, 9 triangle, okay? So now on to question 12. Oh, sorry, on to the third question now. These triangles can be put into a sequence of increase in size. The lengths of the base of triangles in this sequence follow a quadratic pattern. 3 consecutive triangles in the sequence are shown below. Use this information to find the length of the base of the next triangle in the sequence. Alright, it's not so bad. Remember quadratic functions. I know this is not going to be on your summer exam, but look, it's a bit of learning, never hurt anybody. 112 to take away 84 is 28, so a gap of 28 for the first jump. And then for the next jump it's 144 take away 112. 32. That's a gap of 4, which means the gap to the next one should be a gap of 36. So 36 plus 144 should be 180. Because remember, in quadratic functions, it's the second difference that's the same. The first differences are different, but the second difference, which is 4, is the same. Okay. Okay, so in this one, we're going to use h1. So h1 is 2 times 1 squared plus b times 1 plus c. We're told that the answer is 5 for h1, so that equals 5. So 2 times 1 squared is 2, plus b plus c equals 5. Bring the 2 out the other side and we're going to get b plus c equals 5, take away 2, which equals 3. On the next equation, we're going to replace all the x's with 2's because we're looking for h2 this time. And we know the answer for h2 is 13. So we're going to get here is 2 times 2 squared plus b times 2 plus c equals 13. 2 times 4 plus 2b plus c equals 13. 8 that is, so 13 take away 8 is 5. 2b plus c equals 5. Solve the simultaneous equation, so 2b plus c equals 5. Multiply this one by minus 1. And you get minus b minus c equals 3. Then you're going to get b equals 2. And if you know b equals 2, you know that b plus c equals 3. So if b equals 2, this must mean c's got to equal 1. Okay. 2 and 1 respectively. Okay. Question 12. Factorize this. Well, it's the difference of 2 squares. So it's going to be n plus 1 and n minus 1. You can multiply it back out really quickly to figure out if it works or not. And then the minus 1n and the plus 1n cancels, leaving n squared minus 1. So you know it works. Okay, so we'll just go for this answer here. Hence, otherwise answer the following questions. The product of 2 consecutive odd positive numbers is 399. Find the 2 numbers. Alright. Well, there's 2 ways of doing this. Okay, so I'm going to show you 2 ways of doing the same question here, okay? Odd numbers, for example, consecutive odd numbers are like 3 and 5. And product means multiply them. So the product of 3 and 5 would be 15. You could also say the product of 7 by 9 is 63. You could almost be guessing it, to be honest. 15 by 17, too short. 19 by 21, perfect. You could have done it by trial and error. So 19 by 21 is the answer, okay? But let me show you a more algebra way of getting this question done. So what you could do is like this. You could say one number. Remember, odd numbers are always a distance of two parts. So you could say n and n plus 2 are your two odd numbers, such that when you multiply n by n plus 2, the answer has to be 399. You multiply it out and you get n squared plus 2n equals 399. Then you get n squared plus 2n, take away 399 equals 0. You can do the minus b formula if you want, but I know already from earlier on that's 21 and 19. You could always do the minus b formula. Actually, you know what? You could put 399 into the calculator and shift factor. 3 by 7 by 19, which is 21 by 19, okay? Then you can say that n plus 21 equals 0, n minus 19 equals 0. You can say n equals 19, or n equals minus 21. It can't be minus 21 because it's not allowed. So that's not allowed. So n equals 19 is your answer. So if n equals 19, n plus 2 equals 21. So the answers are 19 and 21 still. Instead of using n and n plus 2, you could have also used n plus 1 and n minus 1, because they're a gap of 2 apart. So that would have also worked, but I prefer to start it from scratch. Okay, long division. So we're going to put x plus 3 here. Then we're going to have x cubed plus 5x squared minus 29x minus 105. Okay, and then we're going to divide in here and see what happens. So x cubed divided by x is x squared. So division, multiply, subtract, drop. X squared by x is x cubed. X squared by 3 is 3x squared. Take away, and you get minus 2x squared, because it changes into minus x cubed minus 3x squared. Bring down the minus 29x. 2x squared divided by x. So 2x squared divided by x, cancel the x's, so plus 2x. Multiply 2x by x to get 2x squared. Multiply 2x by 3 to get plus 6x. Take it away. Minus 29 minus 6 is minus 35x. That's minus 105. Finally, minus 35x divided by x is minus 35. And multiply it out and you get minus 35x minus 105. Subtract, which means change the signs, and you get an answer of 0. So your answer is x squared plus 2x minus 35. Okay, that's question 12. Question 13. Using the same axis, draw the graph of the line of the function minus 6 to 6. Alright, so the deal is that f of x. Okay, so let's look at some points here. 0, 1 as an example. So 0, 1. What's it? Minus 6, 4. These are functions. These are for f of x now. Okay, and finally, the last one is going to be finally the last one's going to be, just say for argument's sake, 2, 0. This is what f of x is, alright? So when the x value is 0, the y value is 1. When the x value is -6, the y value is 4. And when the x value is 2, the y value is 0. What the first one wants to do is it says the y value is still the y value in the f of x, but it wants you to add on an extra 2. So in this case, it's no longer going to be 0, 1. It's going to be 0, 3. It's no longer going to be -6, 4. It's going to be -6, 6. And then finally, it's not longer going to be 2, 0. It's going to be 2, 2. Okay. Okay. So that's that one done. Next, we got to move on to the minus fx one, which is going to be slightly different, right? So this is going to be this red mark here. All you're doing is shifting the 2 up every time. So this is going to be the red line here. There you go. Now, the next one is minus fx. So the y value wants to be the negative of what it was before. So instead of 0, 1, you're going to have 0, -1. Because it doesn't want it to be positive, it doesn't want it to be the same value, it wants to be the negative of it. Instead of having -6, 4, you're going to have -6, -4. And 2, the negative of 0 is still 0. So this is going to be 0 -1, which is here. You're going to have 2, 0, which is still here. And then you're going to have -6, -4, which is all the way down here. And then you're going to draw this line, like so. And that is minus f of x. So the first one is, the red line is y equals f of x plus 2. Basically means change your output by 2. And then in this one here, it's y equals minus f of x. This means change your output to being negative. Alright guys, and I think that is us for this one. So it's 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13.